Hello there, and welcome into this initial show on looking at the Pakistan Super League with me, Andrew McLean, and Rana Umair. I'm in Bali, Rana's in Pakistan. Um, and so, yeah, we're going to do this once a week for the next few weeks, just looking back at the week that was in the Pakistan Super League. And one of the things I've sort of observed, Umair, since the Pakistan Super League started is there hasn't been that many close matches, maybe two or three. But it was a bit of an epic last night, wasn't it? The between Lahore and Karachi uh, went down to the final ball. What did you make of that match?
Yeah, like Lahore versus Karachi, they have a history of a great cricketing rivalry. Not just cricket, it's the rivalry between their food as well. And similar thing happened. Like everyone was expecting a close match, and like it went to the last ball. Uh, like it was like a seesaw. Like at one stage, like Karachi was looking very good when they were bowling in the first innings, and then Lahore came back, put up a very decent total, and everyone was expecting them to win. And like the start for Karachi Kings was like bad. Like in the power play, they went on to lose 4 wickets, and then again, like everyone was thinking, okay, today is the day when Lahore Gunners are going to get 2 points finally. But Pollard had some other plans, like the way he hit the bowlers all around the park. He totally like swing the match in favor of Karachi Kings. But again, like Lahore came back, but eventually they fell short. And in the last ball, they were required to score only 1 run, and unfortunately, that edge got past the keeper, and Karachi won the match. Yeah, it was an epic, a thriller, and this sort of matches are required to boost up the Pakistan Super League.
Just just sort of slightly unrelated to this. I've seen quite a bit of comment on Twitter. This went back about a week or so ago, where people were saying that the fans that weren't that excited about the PSL this year because of all the other stuff that's going on in the country. So two questions. Firstly, is that fair? Do you think that's actually the case? And second of all, now a week or so into the tournament, how has it been received this edition of the PSL?
Yeah, there has been a sentiment among the people regarding some political interference within PCB, like the new chairman we've got PCB. So that's actually a political appointment. So that's why people were sort of more inclined towards boycotting PSL. But again, like we are a cricket crazing nation. Like we cannot keep ourselves out of cricket for so long. Yeah, in the first few matches, we have seen a very low turnaround in the stadium. But again, like as soon as the tournament went on, so now the stadiums are been jam packed. Yeah, yesterday there was around 97% attendance in the stadium. So like yeah, but like there's a lot of things going around in Pakistan with respect to the politics and all that. But again, like when it comes to cricket, so eventually they are going to enjoy that, and they are going to make more interest in it. So yeah, I don't think that in the upcoming matches you will see that much impact. Things will ease down.
And just another question I have for you, simply because this is the first time we've talked about the PSL on Global Cricket Radio. Is this the way that they format it? So we're up to we had the 10th match yesterday, and the matches are split between Multan and Lahore, and then after this, it's going to move on to Karachi and Rawalpindi. What do you think of how they format it, having so many matches, in quick succession and just a couple of locations, rather than the tournament being spread around the country?
Yeah, actually, Andy, like we have got 6 teams, and we know that only 4 teams are going to play at their home grounds. Like Quetta, like the situation in Balochistan province is not that much good that we can hold international level matches over there. So and Peshawar as well. Like although we were expecting to have some matches being played in Peshawar, but due to the renovation stuff going on over there, the stadium was not ready. So maybe in by next year we will be having and one more venue. Peshawar, that would be. But Quetta, I'm not saying that very soon it is going to be open for the PSL matches. But let's hope the things get better and better. And with respect to the schedule, like you know that there are a lot of cricket happening these days in the international cricket, be it the international matches or the cricket league. So they get very smaller window to get the matches wrapped up. Otherwise, the player availability that becomes a big question mark, and franchises always push the board that they should be holding the matches when they have the maximum availability of the player. So that's how it goes. Like it's not like IPL where the rest of the cricket gets on hold and everyone is just focusing on IPL. For PSL, like it's very hard to get the availability of the international players, the more in demand players. So that's how it be like they have to schedule these matches so that in this smaller window they can cover the maximum matches. So yeah, with respect to the venues, these are the best four venues so far we have got, and I hope that each and every team get home matches as well. So far, these four teams like Multan, Karachi, Islamabad, and Lahore are getting their home matches, and the rest of the teams are just playing on the neutral grounds. They don't have any such home ground. But yeah, these are the few factors which are contributing towards it.
Another question I had for you is the scores early on in the tournament. There was quite a few scores over 200, but the scores seem to have sort of dipped slightly. And so even looking at last night, in the when Lahore batted, so they batted first, they scored 175 off their 20 overs. But for example, their opener, Sahib Zada Farhan, scored 72, not out. And it just sort of strikes me seeing that okay, he scored at a strike rate of 160. Um, but I just wondered what are the quality of the pitches like as the tournament goes on?
See, like Multan and Lahore are the venues where you would see most of the time that it gives you a balanced wicket, like which will support both bowling and batting. But when the tournament goes on to Rawalpindi and Karachi, those are the batting friendly pitches, and I can bet you will see more 200 scores over there. But Lahore and Multan, like these are the pitches where you will see dual pace tracks and the pitch getting on this the slower side and yeah. And like historically, what we have seen is that chasing down the scores in Multan and Lahore was not that much easy. But this time around, with the due factor playing on, you might have seen that the team chasing the score have gone on to win the matches more. So yeah, that is the factor. But again, like when this tournament gets entered into the second leg, where matches are going to be played in Rawalpindi and Karachi, so you will see the batting tracks and more boundaries and sixes getting hit.
So just looking at the table so far, so all teams have played at least 3 games. In the case of Lahore, they've played 4, and Multan they've also played 4. So Multan is on the top of the table with 6 points, just ahead of Quetta, who's also got 6. But Multan's played one more game, but they have a better net run rate, so they're top of the table. And Lahore hasn't won a match yet. They're sitting on the bottom with no points at all, with a pretty bad net run rate. But do you think the table at the moment, with Multan and Quetta on top, reflects the tournament so far?
Exactly. Like I would definitely say that Multan and Quetta are the red hot favorite teams as of now to win the tournament. But you never know. Cricket is a funny game. But so far, these are the two teams who've got the balance side. If you see the stats as well, the individual stats as well, like with respect to the most wickets, Muhammad Ali is one of the standout bowler for Multan. Like just look at his average; it's only 9.3,
Wow.
right? And this is an amazing number. Muhammad Ali is one that who is like more famous for the red ball cricket. He has played a lot of first class cricket. He did get a chance to play one test match as well, like he debuted in Rawalpindi against England. But again, like that was a flat track, totally like against the fast bowlers, against the bowlers. So he couldn't get he couldn't perform that much. But uh, his performance in white ball cricket is like totally exceptional. And like honestly, I was not expecting this. But the way he has bowled, yeah, you can say that yes, the Multan pitches helped him a lot. There was a lot of swing and seam to offer, but again, you have to execute the plan. So Muhammad Ali and even on the second number, Abbas Afridi, and on the third, Osama Mir, these all three bowlers are from Multan. This actually shows
Right.
that strong the bowling they have got. And Quetta, last few years, 3 to 4 years, those are very much bad for Quetta. They have been struggling with respect to their combination, and I thought that Sarfraz was not good as captain as well. But this time around, they have made some few massive changes. They have brought back Riley Rousseau, and they have improved on their bowling line as well, like Abrar and Akil Hussain from West Indies. These are the two. I would definitely say the best spinning option so far in the tournament, and Kota have got those two bowlers in the middle overs. They are not allowing the batters to score freely. So yeah, both the teams have got great balance in between their batting and bowling, and I'm expecting a final between these two. But again, like you don't know, cricket is a funny game. We never know that one bad day can change the entire scenario of the tournament. But so far, these are the two best teams who got the best scores, be it the bowling or batting.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I just wanted to touch on, because you mentioned it earlier, was the availability of international players. One thing that stands out for me with Quetta is, they've got Jason Roy in their side, for example, and he's had a pretty good tournament so far. I think he scored around about 170 runs or thereabouts. But it helps, that he's basically given up his England contract so he can play in these tournaments such as the PSL. Um, but aside from Jason Roy, what other international players have impressed you in the tournament so far?
The old lad Pollard.
Yeah,
Although with his growing age, no one was giving him a chance. But the way he batted in a couple of matches and won the matches for his team, that is truly exceptional. Like we all know that how much experience he has. And in the last few seasons, he have been changing the team just because he was not performing up to the mark. But finally, he's got back into his groove. So Pollard is the one which has definitely impressed me, and the other one, the next one wanted to talk about is RVD, Resi van Reducen from South Africa. He has played a very decent role in like batting of Laur Kalandar. The situation where the batting was struggling, he gave a very he played a vital role as a middle order batter. So Jesse Van Der Dusen, I would also like to mention that he has played well in batting. So these are the two standard performers so far for me. But the good thing is that local talent is coming up for Pakistan. We have seen mostly the batters and the bowlers who are performing well for their teams. So that's a good sign for Pakistan.
yeah, it's interesting actually. I mean, I know we're only a few games into the tournament, but you've got some guys averaging fairly highly. I mean, um, Farhan, who I mentioned before, he's averaging 64. Reza Hendricks is averaging
Yeah.
58. Baba's averaging 57. Van der Dusen 55. Aga Salman 74. So there's some pretty high averages in there. But one thing that also stands out for me, Umair, is that the strike rates of those guys are not that high. And it's kind of interesting, of course, although he cops a lot of criticism, Bubba's virtually almost got the highest strike rate out of those top five batsmen. He's striking at 144. The highest is Farhan with 146. But um, are the strike rates about where they normally are in PSL for the sort of the leading scoring batsmen, or are they a little bit down this year?
A little bit down this year, I would say. And like the pitches in Multan and Lahore has a lot of role to play over here. But again, as I mentioned earlier, when the tournament enters into the second leg and with the matches being played in Rawalpindi and Karachi, you will see these strike rates getting on the higher side. But yeah, this is how it be in the, Karachi, or sorry, in Multan and Lahore. So this is how the strike rates have been.
Well, I guess time will tell. As I say, it's only teams have only played 4 matches or 3 or 4 matches each. But I just do want to touch on Bubba briefly. there's a lot of debate, and our friend uh, uh, Asim Rana, who can't be with us today, he's got in a function. There's this question mark around Bubba about whether he should be opening or batting three. But as I say, his statistics on the face of it indicate that he's actually having a pretty good tournament so far. Couple of 50s in there, few five sixes. Um, but you know the debate that rages on Twitter is that does Bubba score fast enough? Does he take up too many balls? And in one of the early matches I saw, of course he copped a lot of criticism because I think he got to 50 off something like 29 balls, and he finished up with, I don't know, 70 or something off. He basically slowed down after he got to 50. And there was an interesting press conference. It was in Urdu, so I didn't really understand it, obviously. But Bubba was trying to explain to the journalist who asked him the question, "Why did you slow down?" And he said, "Well, we lost two wickets. What am I supposed to do?" you know? So I just wanted to. Well, I'm just using Bubba as an example. I don't want to pick on him specifically. But do you think that a batsman in that situation should just keep blazing when they're chasing a total, or do you think it's okay to sort of rein it in a little bit and then hope that the guys further down the order can kind of get them out of trouble? What do you think is the right approach?
See, looking at the current batting of Peshawar Zalmi, Babar is the only player who can play the anchor role. And that's a good thing, I would say. Because the rest of this year, talk about Saim Ayub, Hasibullah, Haris, Walter, Roman Power, Asiuri, all are the hitters who can hit boundaries at will. So whatever the role Babar is playing as of now in PSL, that is required from him. There is no question that I don't think that Babar we should expect himself to score more boundaries. Like the thing is that he just need to play the anchor role. I'm just talking about the current situation of Peshawar Zalmi again. Like I'm not talking about the international cricket for like the current squad of the Shower Zalmi, they have got a lot of hitters who can score boundaries whenever there are balls being hit. So Babar is required to anchor the inning, just hold one end. Yeah. And again, like it's not about holding one end. He has been scoring runs with a decent strike rate, like around 140 strike rate. He has ended up with so far with three matches. So it's far enough. Like it's way good for him. So I think that we should not expect Babar to be more aggressive. The way he have been playing in the PSL so far, it's very good. Like that is enough. There is no question that we should not be questioning Babar's approach in this PSL. He has been doing a wonderful job.
Just moving on to the bowling. I'm just looking at the most wickets so far in the PSL. You mentioned Muhammad Ali from Multan. Absolutely astonishing. 10 wickets at an average of 9.3 with an incredible economy rate of 5.8. I mean, he's streets ahead of anyone else. In terms of averages, the next best is Abbas Afridi um, with 7 wickets. And then after that, you've got Abra, was a whole bunch of players with 6. The one thing that stands out for me is there's no foreigner really competing in the top list. The best is Luke Wood, although he's actually got a very, very handy average of 14 and a half. But why do you think the foreign bowlers haven't had such an impact, or are they just not getting picked enough, or what's the reason for guys like Luke Wood and David Willey would be someone you would expect to be taking a lot of wickets? What's happening there? Do you think?
Look, Andy, it is no different from the previous seasons of PSL. Like the Pakistan is renowned to produce good bowlers, and all the teams who are drafting players, they are more focused towards getting the good batsmen. That's the area where Pakistan have been lacking, like since years. We have not been able to produce good batsmen. Well, although, yeah, we do have good batsmen, but again, like when you compare the kind of quality of bowlers versus the batters, bowlers have always have the upper hand. So you will see most of the foreign players as a batsman playing in Pakistan Super League, and that's why you would see that even a few of the foreign bowlers, they have not been able to pick few wickets because there are local bowlers who have been the standout performers. Yeah, so there is no change. Yeah, but again, the good thing is that among the batters, we have seen the local talent coming up. Sahibzada Farhan is the one of the premier example. He has been performing very well in the national and like the domestic T20 tournaments, and he has carried the same form. And he's sitting right at the top in terms of the most runs scores. In the second number, you can see Riza Hendricks. So yeah, so even if we compare with the last few seasons, you will see the same trends. Like the batters, foreign batters are contributing more, whereas on the bowling side, you will always see the local bowlers getting more wickets. So yeah, this is how it been. It's very unlike with the IPL, where in the IPL you will see the most of the players, the teams are focused on getting high quality bowlers, but over here the situation is different.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I mean, you even need to just go back to the Test series in Australia, right, where Pakistan was missing a few of their frontline pace bowlers, and then they just found a few other ones to do a really good job. So
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. One area that's always of interest to me, particularly looking ahead to the T20 World Cup, which is it's not that far away now. It's only 3 or 4 months away. I've always thought, my five or so trips to Pakistan, where Pakistan really struggles is their middle order, basically in in T20 cricket. There's so much pressure on Baba and Rizwan to get runs and to get runs quickly, and if they don't get them quickly, then there needs to be middle order batsmen that can come in and kind of lift the scoring rate towards the end of the innings. And I've always felt that they've just not been able to nail that in the last couple of years. Batsmen 4 to 7, let's say, or even 3 to 7 in T20 cricket. Um, but Asim mentioned that Nafay from the Quetta side, the Gladiators, has been going really well. Your comments on him, and also anyone else that's looking at a possible candidate to be in the team for the T20 World Cup in the middle order.
Any unfortunately, like even in this season as well, we don't have anyone from the middle order who we can think that can be a good candidate for the T20 World Cup. Most of the talent we have in the as an opener or maximum one down. There's no one who has been a standard performer at number 4, 5, or even at 6 as well. So yeah, again, I believe that this will remain a problem if the Khar is going to be the candidate again, because he has played couple of innings as a finisher. So I believe that the PCB will go again with Iftikhar only as a middle order option or even as a finisher. Talking about Khwaja Nafe, yeah, like in 3 matches he has played one inning that was a match winning knock. He went on to win the match for his team single handedly, where the rest of the batters were struggling, but Nafi took on the charge and hit Haris, Shaheen, and Zaman all out of the park side. That was not pretty much fascinating stuff from him. Khwaja Nafi again, it's just one match, right? So we cannot definitely say that okay, he can be a good candidate for the T20 World Cup. Let him play the rest of the matches and let's see how it goes. But again, yes, in that particular match, he has shown the talent. Definitely has got the talent. But again, in past as well, Pakistan have been making mistakes by just based on a couple of innings, they add up batters in their squad, and at the international level they go on to fail. So yeah, let's see how the thing goes on for him in the rest of the matches. But yeah, he has shown the talent. But again, I'm not in favor. That would be pretty much premature if we say at this point of time that okay, yeah, he can play international matches.
So that being the case, what's your assessment of the form of someone like Shadab, for example, who's he's been out injured. He didn't go to New Zealand, but he's obviously back playing PSL at the moment. He's one guy that can obviously be in the middle order somewhere, anywhere from kind of 5 to 7. You've got the likes of Muhammad Nawaz. I see Kushtil Shah's name come up the other day with a bit of a performance. So, how do you think the established players are going? Um, you know, again, looking ahead to the World Cup.
See, Pakistan desperately need. Shadab's bowling form. Like he has been out of form when we talk about his bowling. Batting is his secondary job, right? And in the like three matches so far, Shadab has bowled in the right areas. We can say that he's getting back his form, but again, he has bowled on the pitches there were good like a decent support for the spinners. But now, when the tournament enters into the second leg, and when Shadab is going to play on the pitches of Rawalpindi and Karachi, where spinner will be getting less assistance, that would be the test of his bowling skills. Let's see how he performs over there. If he performs well, so then yes, we can say that he has got his form back, and we can expect him to bowl good in the condition of West Indies and USA. With respect to his batting, he has played one match winning knock against Lahore in the very first match, so there is no doubt about his batting skills. Like whatever is expected from him, he has been producing. But the thing is that his primary job is to bowl well, is to take wickets in the middle overs. That is he was renowned for, and that is something which we have been lacking in the last few tournaments. So let's see how it goes. Again, as I said earlier, on the flat decks, let's see how he bowls.
Mm. Speaking of Shadab, he was in the news during the week questioning the DRS, and he said, well, it wasn't him that was the bowler at the time, but he was obviously the captain. And he said after the match, he said, well, so this was an LBW, a shout that got referred. And he said, well, look, I've just bowled 4 overs of spin, and I know the pitch isn't turning. So how does DRS think the ball's turning when I know it's not turning? What did you make of that?
That was a very very strange thing, obviously, but again we can say that that's a tech error. Like the ball tracking was not like working properly at that time. I don't know what happened, but again, like when you see that dismissal in real time, that has to go in the favor of ball, right? So but yeah, but these strange things do happen in international cricket as well. You might have seen a lot of people questioning DRS during the time of World Cup as well. So yeah, but again, we can definitely say that technology is not going to be 100% correct all the time. So whenever the team who is at the receiving end, so they will definitely say that the technology is not good, they need to improve it, or they have to make some new rules and regulation. But again, this happens. This happens. You cannot say because see that technology is helping you a lot in majority of the areas that is helping you. But yes, there's always a limitation. So there is something you will see always under the radar. The team who is at the receiving end is going to lose the match just because of there may be some glitches in technology. They are going to question you. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it
so I
just
think
seems this issue's coming up a lot recently, and
yeah.
I've mentioned it on previous shows. So I remember there was a situation last year when Pakistan was playing New Zealand in um, Karachi, and there was a caught behind decision, and Safraz, who was keeping wicket, he had no idea that the that the batsman had hit the ball, and then the technology said he'd hit the ball, and Safraz was like, "Well, no, he didn't hit it, but okay, fair enough, I'll take it."
Yeah.
But it just seems that DRS has been in the news. You know, Ben Stokes was questioning it during the week. It just seems a shame that the technology isn't quite right. But hey, the last thing I wanted to touch on was Harris Ralph. I see he bowled sixth in his most recent game. Um, Firstly, is there well, actually, before we get to that, what's been this whole fallout of him losing his contract? That seemed to have been something pretty controversial. I read one comment saying if he had just been downgraded, no one would have cared, but he actually lost his central contract completely. Um, what did you make of that situation and the sort of the fan reaction to it?
See, the any board was not happy with him. Like board asked him to go on to the Australian tour, and they did assured him that they are not going to bowl him. They are not going to over bowl him. They also set the number of overs as well. Although it seems very strange that you have just set a limit for a bowler. like the number of hours he would be bowling on one day. But again, the board went that much ahead. Okay, you are going to bowl only 10 to 12 overs a day, and still he said no. So I think that again, like when it's about the national duty, regardless of how you are thinking about yourself, whether you are ready for test cricket or not. But if board thinks that you have to be on that tour, then you should say yes. So I think the board was not happy with him about his decision. And yes, with respect to the fan following, a lot of fans were not happy after him being getting dropped from the central contract. But I believe that things will get ease up, and he might be getting his central contract back, but not in that higher category with where he was used to be before. Maybe with some lower category of the players, where for the players who are or just expected to play white ball cricket and specifically T20 cricket, I'm talking about. So he'll be getting some sort of level contract or something like that. So yeah, but again, like the way Haris Rove have been performing in recent past, like that is a big question mark of him. And even like I've been fan of his bowling, but again I have lost confidence in him as well. To be honest, like the whole World Cup and the other international cricket he have played in recent past, just it was just a disappointment, to be honest. And just last night, the way he bowled, we have seen the glimpse of the old Haris Rove, where he was like it was too difficult for the batters to hit him, and he bowled at the right channels. I haven't seen him bowling a rare loose delivery last night. The perfect bowling spell which is expected from Haris, he has delivered last night. But again, what was going with him for the last few months, only he can and tell. But again, like yes, Haris is something. If he is in his great bowling form, he can win matches for you. But unfortunately, in the last few months, that was not happening. But let's see how he performs in the rest of the tournaments.
Well, just before we wrap up, it's a double. Well, two matches today. One in Multan at 2 o'clock, and then another one in Lahore at 7 o'clock. So we've got Multan against Quetta, the Sultans against the Gladiators in the first match in Multan. And then we've got Lahore against Peshawar in Lahore. That's the night match. What do you think? Do you think Lahore's got a chance of getting their first win? And do you think you've got this basically top of the table clash between the Sultans and the Gladiators? What are you expecting from today's matches?
From first match, it's very hard to pick a winner out of these because these are the two most balanced sides so far we have seen in this season of PSL. So, but I will go with Quetta Gladiators because the last couple of matches from Multan Sultan they have been very close, and if the other team had like good bowling attack, they would have definitely won the match. So today I will go with Quetta. Quetta should win this. They have good batting lineup. Their bowling have been performing well. Amir has been one standout performer for them, Mohammad Amir. So I will go with Quetta. And in the second match, Lahore versus Peshawar Zalmi. Like, see, if any team has lost four matches on the trot, so definitely they will be very low on confidence. So I hope, like I am a fan of Lahore Qalandar. Like I've been following the team since many years. I have seen this team getting eliminated every year, and eventually they went on to win two consecutive tournaments. So I've been a big fan of Lahore Qalandar. But again, like considering the current situation, specifically with their bowling, they are not able to take wickets between in the middle overs. We have what we have seen in this tournament so far. I will go with Peshawar Zalmi, but I would love to see Lahore Killa winning this match so that they like still get a chance to qualify for the playoff. Although the chances are very slim, it's very hard to win all the remaining six matches. I would love to see them winning, but I believe that Peshawar Zalmi has got the upper hand. So on paper, if I see the recent performances, Peshawar Zalmi is the favorite to win the match.
Oh, well, in that first match, which is only 26 minutes away now as we record this, Quetta has won the toss and has elected to bowl first. So your prediction has got every chance of coming right because they've got the toss correct.
Yep.
Ahmed Rizwan elected to field. So let's see what happens. All
Yep.
right, well, great to chat to you, Umair, on this first show we've been doing on the Pakistan Super League. And so from me and Umair here on Global Cricket.